Hello, Blizzard fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between the Red Bandit and Dirtybag on Fighting Spirit. This is Starbow. My first Starbow cast got a lot of good feedback, and so I'm going to continue casting these, continue learning the game, and I think I'm going to cast a tournament. I was approached by Ziphius about the possibility, and we'll have to see how did I get that so far away? I don't know. Either way, great. We'll have to see if that actually ends up happening or not. Do we have names? We have names here. Fantastic. So the Red Bandit versus Dirtybag. In the bottom left of Fighting Spirit, we have the Blizzard player. It is TEHREDBANDIT. Observer Tenda says, I feel like with perfect control you can just wreck Terran with Lurker Ling. With perfect control, says Moxie. Yeah, hey, we saw him earlier. Either way, bottom right, we have the red Terran player. It is Dirtybag. So, okay, again, this is Starbow. This is something that is very different from StarCraft 2. It is a bit like Brood War, but again, as Ziphius does like to say, it is not exactly like Brood War. It is not what StarCraft 2 should be. It's its own, a distinct, unique game that is hopefully very fun for players to play. So, this conversation is going on, burrowing, unburrowing workers, Moxie saying, yeah, whatever. Again, a difference here is that actually Zerg players don't have to expand early against Terran. You can do one base attacks that are very effective against what Terrans are able to do. And so I actually have not seen this map. It looks like a nice big one here. It does get scouted out with the early drone. It's a bit of an early scout off, a bit of a lucky scout. Didn't scout up here and first instead. Sees exactly what's going on. Actually sees an early command center coming up. Okay, a bit of a macro play here from Dirtybag. Doesn't even have a barracks yet. Expansion coming out for our friend Red Bandit. We're not going to call him TEHREDBANDIT. That takes a little bit too long. I might just be calling him Bandit as well. Alright, and Red Bandit going for another hatchery as well. So, crazy macro plays coming out all over the place. Tenda saying, I don't like the Quick Hive Nidus style, which I haven't actually seen. That sounds like a lot of fun to me, but what do I know? Macro hatch coming up as well. Again, is that second base. Tenda says it's really gross and I'm bad at it. So, is this drone still alive? This drone is still alive, getting off so much scouting information, seeing how much gas is being taken. And you know what? It's actually just one gas. I forgot about that. Starbow does not have the 2 gas Vespene geysers in the base. So you have the one here, that's all you're going to get. You can really only devote 3 workers to it per base, which is interesting. Engineering bay popping out as well. This guy being a command center, and the bunker has 2 Marines in it. So fairly safe. SCV scouting around as well. We are making a spine crawler with, again, explosive damage. So it does extra damage to armored units and less damage to light and medium units. So pretty interesting stuff. So better against things like, I guess, are fire bats armored? We will have to see. We're going to learn these things together, you and I. Either way, Lings are scouting around trying to see what they can see. Early Lings are actually a bit more viable as well. They're just a little bit more tanky, it feels like. And hey, it's a Swarm Queen. We like these guys. Swarm Queens do have the ability to actually attack using this Enraged Queen ability. Cooldown of 38 seconds. She deals 9 melee damage in a small splash arc in front of her with an attack period of 1. So she can actually be used in base defense probably more effectively than Queens in StarCraft 2. But she is also actually able to inject larvae. Yep, there we go. Injecting to speed up the larva production for these hatcheries. So, pretty fun stuff. These Lings, do they have mischief on their minds is the question. Gonna slow things down because I think they do. Gonna follow these guys across the map, and they go past the Starbow logo. Hello, Starbow. There we go. Just kind of advertising for the game. Yeah, either way, I do want to thank Xlorin for sending me a slightly edited logo of the Starbow. Just a little bit lighter so it shows up on the thumbnails better. If you saw an early version of that, then you would know that it was kind of harder to read. It was a bit of a red-on-red situation. But with the lighter Starbow, you can see it against the red background. It looks amazing. The effects are fantastic. So thanks again to Xlorin. Check out his channel. He is a really, really talented with his art styles and his graphic design. So again, thanks to him. And if you're watching this Starbow cast and it's first of mine, you can thank Xlorin for my logo that I have. And not for the logo, the thumbnails that I have, as well as the introduction is what I meant to say. on my channel. The logo and actually channel art is something that came from Red. He actually did the My Insanity logo, if you've seen that before. Pretty fantastic stuff. But anyway, a lot of guys out there are really happy just to help people out who are casting and just producing content for StarCraft 2, and those guys are 2 of them, and I really appreciate it. Okay, so fire bats are armored, so actually the spine crawler does actually, whoa, lots of spine crawlers do damage to these guys. We're gonna push on in and see what we can do. Marines and fire bats and medevacs are a pretty potent combination until you can actually get lurkers out, which I think, yes, the lurker den just about finished. Here we go, pop it on in to these spine crawlers. I don't know if this is a good choice or not. The queen is enraged, but she decides to back the heck out of there. Lings coming from the backside, trying to kill what they can, forcing a bit of a retreat, but no, the surround is in. The Lings cleaning up everything that is left. You can hear the medics all dying. I will keep wanting to say medevacs, but they are in fact medics, and they're dead. Dead on the creep. Pretty excellent hold there by the Red Bandit. Able to get lurkers out now. Again, he wasn't quite ready with the lurkers, so he threw down the spines. He saw the push was coming. He knew the push was coming, and he survived long enough to get the lurkers out. So it's 51 harvesters to 34 in favor of the Terran player. That has to be something of an advantage here. Not even taking the gas up here at the second yet. Pretty much happy with the production. He gets out of the refinery here instead. So pretty darn interesting stuff. The Ling just kind of moving around. A couple of the lurkers here, not quite burrowed yet. They can't do anything unless they are burrowed, so they might want to get under the ground soon. But another push coming out. Again, you cannot leave Zerg alone in this game, not even in Starbow. So keep the pressure on as the Terran. Try to kill this guy as best you can, but the lurkers are here. Get out. A scan comes up. The lurkers unburrow, get out of range of the scan. Well played on their part. A bit of a waste there. I mean, I guess it did force the lurkers back, but he didn't actually kill any of them, which is what you really want to do with that scan. The Zerglings swooping on in. Might just do a run by. Nope. Nope. Actually getting out of there as best they possibly can. I guess they really couldn't. I guess they could have gotten into the main, though. That would have been huge, but in the end, they decided they did not want to be trapped inside the Terran base. They want to stay alive, except for that one who ends up dead. Kind of running around. A bit of a ninja expansion coming up here from TEHREDBANDIT. Scouting around to see if the Terran has a ninja expansion. Is this blue slow Ling. And again, macro hatch, 3 base total here for the Zerg player. Has the lurkers. That's pretty much what he wants at this point. Lurkers are key. Does everybody ninja in Starbow? Is that what this is? Like, why are you sending your whole army up here? Because you know there's not a base here. You just scanned. Either way, scanning over here might be good because there is a hatchery that can't be canceled because it just finished. Watch out for that. And Dirtybag trying to send a Marine out and is actually going to die to the Ling. Oh no, the Ling loses interest and heads on back home. The Marine is thankful for his life. He is only down to 14 hit points, but there is a medic out there somewhere with his name on it. And pushing on out. Oh, it's a drop. Oh goodness, it is a drop. It is a Lurker Ling drop. I don't think this has been seen at all by Dirtybag. So here we come. Going to drop on into the main. Going to do a ton of damage. Could kill possibly all of these supply depots. I don't know what the answer is going to be. But the army is far away from home and trying to get in here. But here we come. Burrowing in. The Lurker's doing a ton of damage to these Marines. They're forced to pull back. But again, they are holding a bit of a perimeter, not allowing anything any closer. The Ling's trying to get into the front door. Lurker's trying to get into the front door. A scan goes off, and they're forced to retreat a little bit. They're holding off this group from the outside. These guys going to town, again, on these supply depots. It might actually be enough to supply block. It does supply block Dirtybag there. Overlord goes down. The Lurker is doing tons of damage to these buildings, catching many of them on fire, killing them one by one. Down to 86 supply total for Dirtybag. And these Lurkers want to get in on the fun. They're going to pick up in these Overlords, pop on into the main, and I just don't know what we're going to do here. Tanks are good. A scan with a tank fire could be enough to take down these Lurkers, but okay, there's the science vessel with a permanent scan. That's what you want to do. Lurkers get in here and try to kill things before they get killed, doing a pretty good job of it, but actually killing that tank and killing the Marines. There are 3 Lurkers left. They're going to take down this starport. It explodes in a fireball. There we go. Boosh. Pieces flying everywhere. Response are these Marines are trying to get in here to kill this, but the Red Bandit decides I've done enough damage, picks up and heads back home. So again, it's still at a worker disadvantage. It is still 56 to 38 workers in favor of Dirtybag, the Red Bandit. A little bit behind on the economy there, but he does have 3 bases, which is nice, saturating it a little bit here. Here comes a big push of Lings. This Lurker Ling combo just so good. I don't know if Terran has good air-to-ground technology to deal with this. Like, I don't know if you would want to go maybe Wraiths. They do ground damages. Not a lot of ground damage, but it is pretty good ground damage. What did we just do there? Did we throw Overcharge. Overcharge is the targeted production facility for 19 seconds. A factory or starport will produce units at 50% faster rate, while barracks will produce at a 100% rate. So that is nice. All right, so we used overcharge on this barracks. It's kind of like a chrono boost for Terran. As I miss a battle here. The lurkers are here in your main base, though. This is scary, scary stuff. Radiation going down on one of these lurkers. That should be enough to kill it. And yes, it does. The good news is that while burrowed, units do not kind of push that radiation cloud to units around it. If the lurker was above ground, it would actually hit those overlords, I think, as well as nearby Zerg units. But if you're burrowed, you are dying from radiation, but you survive. I'm sorry, you don't actually kill your friends. So pushing on in with the stim, taking a lot of damage, but I think that this is enough to actually clean up these lurkers. And yes, it is, but a lot of bio units have died there. So yeah, again, the aggression is real in Starbow. Zerg are able to siege up Terran, make them scared to move out, keep them inside their base, and pretty much do whatever they want back at home. Viper Nest coming up. I don't think I saw a Viper in the first game. No, I did not. Let's take a look at that Viper Nest when it pops up and see what's going to come out of there. Science Vessel again, scouting things out as a single kill with that Irradiate ability. EMP is here instead of with the Ghost. So EMP creates an electromagnetic pulse that drains all shields and energy, just like in StarCraft 2. So nothing too crazy there. I like that model. I've always liked the big model of the Science Vessel. It's actually from the campaign, I think, is where we took this from. But either way, cool stuff. Zerglings scouting around. A lot of active Zerglings, just kind of making sure Terran isn't able to get outside this contain. These lurkers are in a bit of trouble. I think if the siege tanks moved up with Science Vessel support, they could probably burn those down. But I have to imagine that our friend the Red Bandit knows what he is doing. This is throwing me off because it's the Red Bandit and he's blue. And Dirtybag is red as well. Too much red. Either way, I might try to drop again, but this group is ready and waiting for it. Command center actually being plopped out here would be nice, just to see the path that the overlords are taking to get into the main base. At least give Dirtybag a little bit of a warning as to what's going on. So third base again, just kind of being taken. No big deal. Lurker here to deal with drops and a spine crawler as well. Another lurker being popped open. And where's that Viper Den? There it is. Makes spawn locust. Allows Vipers to use a spawn locust ability. Spawns 2 locusts at the target enemy unit. The impact deals 100 damage. And evolve Vulcan Propulsor. Gives Eruptors 2 attack range when burrowed. What the heck is an Eruptor? Alright, so where's my Viper at? Here my Viper at. Let's follow you for a minute. You can do Ensnare. Okay, that's just like the Queen from Brood War. Reducing their attack by 30% and movement speed by 50%. That's pretty good stuff. Contaminate. Target structure will be unable to train units or research upgrades for 43 seconds. Oh, and if the target structure has less than 33% life left, it will instead come into your control permanently. Okay, so does that work for everything? So in Brood War, this ability was, you could infest command centers. A command center that was on fire and kind of dead, you could actually, picking up and running away again with the overlords, I think is what we're doing here. You could infest the command center and allow you to make infested Terrans from that command center, which were suicide bomber units that basically came out and did splash damage to anything they exploded on. Oh no, being forced to drop the lurkers here and burrow the lurkers. Yes, does manage to do it, killing all of those Marines, forcing a liftoff on that command center almost by accident, I would have to say. Oh, forcing a cancel is that hero Ling. Wow, well played. But either way, it looks like Contaminate actually lets you control buildings that are burning and on fire. Does that work for... Anyway, big on push here as well, and these tanks have some kind of an ability on them. What is that? Is that a spawn locust, ensnare? Is that just ensnare? Is that what that looks like? Either way, irradiate coming down on these lurkers again, not hurting the units nearby, but it will take them out. Ling's popping on in, trying to deny this base again. Terran cannot take a third base. He is struggling so much with this. He's very, very frustrated as well. And let's take a look. Spawn locust, 2 locusts at the enemy target unit. Impact is 100 damage. Oh. So 100 damage for 125 energy is pretty darn good. Pushing on in with the stim again, but there are a lot of lurkers here. I don't know if this is enough bio, but it looks like it may be, as the Red Bandit actually runs the heck out of there. A couple Lings catch these transferring tanks and force them to retreat. Again, the denial here is doing so well at this command center. Even throwing down creep is this overlord for the Red Bandit. The Zerglings here as well, saying, "Oh man, we're going to lose our our lurkers." But a small push up here, and is that... What is that? I think that's the ensnare. Yep, it slows everything down. The ensnare Irradiate going down again on these Lurkers, killing them, but they stay alive just for a little bit longer. Yeah, that's got to be Ensnare that I'm seeing there. I don't think it hurts anything. It just kind of slows things down. Are we bringing SCVs in here to kill Lurkers? We certainly are. I don't know about this decision. Oh, so many Lurkers die. Wow. How many workers have been killed in this game? 31 SCVs have died in this game. That is a huge, huge number. Getting infantry armor level 3, more science vessels, so important in TVZ, in Starbow. Another base coming up for the Red Bandit, just really, really taking it to the Terran player. Is the Terran going to be mined out here soon? Yes, he is. These mineral patches are dwindling. It does not look good for him at all. He has tanks, he has science vessels, he has marines. Not many fire bats, not so useful against those Lurkers, unfortunately. The medics doing what they can to heal these units. But the command center is finally forced to retreat, recognizing I'm never going to land here, not with these Lurkers. This science vessel has a kill with that Irradiate. A push forward, science vessels coming in, throwing down Irradiate on these Vipers. Boom, I think that was a Locust spawn. Yep, Locust spawn took down a tank. That is pretty nice news, but the Viper's going to die, unfortunately. Boof, there it disappears from our map. Lurkers doing a lot of damage. Tanks coming in. Irradiate coming down on every single one of these Lurkers. It seems like they are dying. They're trying to do what they can to kill the Terran units before they explode, but being forced to retreat as well, picking up these Lings to escape. Some pretty good micro there from the Red Bandit. Siege tanks laying waste to these Lurkers as well. Hydralisks might be the answer. Hydras are on their way. We already have the Hydra in, obviously, because we have Lurkers, but command center here going to try to land here again, but there is again a single Lurker. Might be enough to deal with it. This science vessel group is super scary. Defensive Matrix going down on that siege tank, making it a bit more tanky, ha ha ha, as all these Lurkers get cleaned up. Are we going to push right into the main is the question. What's the defense? The defense is a lot of Lings and a lot of Lurkers. See these Lings doing a lot better against Bio than they do in StarCraft 2? It's kind of insane. Yeah, they survive longer than you expect against, these are what, 3-2 Marines? Yeah, those would melt Zerglings in StarCraft 2. These slow Hydras try to come in, but no, turn around, slow Hydras. Don't come here. I know you're rallied, but it's a bad place to be right now. Don't do it. Oh, running into these Lurkers. They're going to die eventually anyway. Be a little bit patient here, Dirtybag. You have a pretty good contain setup. There we go. Stimming forward, taking out that second Lurker. I don't think a single Irradiate is enough to actually kill a Lurker. It does, 202 damage. I think Lurkers actually have more than that. No, they don't. So I should be able to one-shot these guys. There we go. Another Irradiate going down on the Viper. These science vessels are really using their ability to the very, very best of what they can do. This is what the Terran forces are capable of doing. That third base has finally been taken by Dirtybag. He feels very happy about that. Coming on in with a small drop, but good positioning here by Dirtybag. Getting back in time to deal with that. Cleans everything up. All the Overlords die. The third base has been established, and Dirtybag might survive a little bit longer than first anticipated. So, interesting stuff for sure. Morphing in more and more Lurkers. Are we taking another base for Dirtybag? No, we are not. I'm not sure that Dirtybag is convinced he has a contain setup here on 2 bases. I think he has to know there are more bases along this left side somewhere, but hasn't really scouted them out either. So pushing on in with the science vessels, feeling very brave to do so. Upgrading groove spines and muscular augments for the Hydras, making them that much more effective. Moving right on in. Again, the spines do less damage against light, which is what Marines are. Big push of Marines and medics coming right on into the main here. Doing what they can to take down this hatchery. I think they might be able to do so. Yes, immediately the hatchery explodes. This Hydra gets melted. There is nothing left here really to defend against this. This reminds me of StarCraft 2. Just come in with a small group of Marines and medevacs, and that's so many science vessels. I think the tech structures are in a lot of trouble right now for the Red Bandit. What can he do? He has 100 supply. His unit count basically is a few Hydras, a couple Vipers, and a few Lings. I don't think there's enough to kill this. This might be the final death blow for the Dirtybag. He definitely wants to focus down that Lurker den. They've caused him so much trouble in this game. They do manage to get it. Also going to take down, what is this, the Viper Nest? Yes, it is. And the Evolution Chamber, and might as well get the spawning pool while we're here, right? Yes, Dirtybag. Yes, Dirtybag. Are we remaking? I guess we have a bunch of Lurkers up here in defensive positions, but man, losing your main like that has really got to hurt. I don't care if you're Zerg, you can rebuild stuff fairly quickly, but that was a nice push forward by Dirtybag. Again, buying him time to get up his economy, to restore things here at his third base, maybe even take a fourth base here at some point. But bam, there goes the Ensnare, catching all of those science vessels. And the Scourge come in. The Scourge take down a few of those guys. How many total science vessels have died in this game? It's supposed to be 5. Pretty good. Scourge, again, suicide flying units that did exist in Brood War. That is a carryover. They do splash damage. I think it's about 125 splash damage to flying units only. So there are pretty much the air suicide bombers for the Zerg, kind of like the ground suicide bombers are those infested Terrans. Another base coming up for the Red Bandit. He is expanding very well. This is how I used to play Zerg in Brood War. I used to pretty much make bases everywhere and dare the opponent to find all of them. And once I played against a guy that was able to do that, and it was so frustrating, he pretty much just wiped me out. A Radiate going down on all these Lurkers, trying to burrow them in a good position to actually kill most of this bio. Good moving back, though, by Dirtybag. A Radiate. Is there enough Radiate to kill this entire Lurker group? Man, Science Vessels are good. Lurker. Oh, no, but Scourge are better. Scourge taking down a couple of them. I need to find a Scourge and see what their stats are here. Eventually, all the Lurkers end up dead. They're forced to retreat. They're getting scanned. They know they're going to die. Where are my Scourge at? I don't see any Scourge. Units tab. Nope, no Scourge currently on the map, unfortunately. Another push up again. These Marines are 3-3. They are super scary. The Medivacs have 3 armor as well. Medics, rather. I keep saying that. And we have Lurkers getting irradiated again. I think this is more irradiation than I remember in Brood War replays. But again, Science Vessels are good. You have a lot of them. Dirtybag has invested a lot of gas into these. They are very expensive, and so it makes sense that he's able to use them to deal with this group. All the Lurkers are dead. The Marines know it's time to stim on in. They take out another Lurker that hasn't been quite irradiated yet. They're pushing forward. There's really nothing here to stop this either. This hatchery is going to go down immediately. The DPS on these 3-3 Marines is great. The Red Bandit calls GG, and Dirtybag is victorious. So, okay, wow, the economic advantage, I would have to say, was probably with the Red Bandit the whole game there, but Dirtybag doing a good job getting those Science Vessels up, irradiating all the Lurkers he could, and then using Stim Marines and Medics to roll his way to victory. So, fantastic play by him. That was a really fun game to cast. I really thank Aziphius again for sending me these replays. This has been Starbow, and this has been Falcon Paladin. If you like what you saw today, if you like what you heard, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. You can also find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all /Falcon Paladin. And as always, until next time, you take care of yourself.